It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. Now that I got your attention, I guess I should probably mention I got a new album available now on my site. Nigga, fuck all that whining and bitching. You looking for greatness, then I'm the description. Dropping me by like a prison. Twisting your brow like ignition and split, nigga. That's what I call on the vision. I'm finna infiltrate, you cannot imitate. I'm from a pedigree, this is not Triple H. I took a road, you can't travel like Triple H. Do the impossible, just like a triple play. Genuine energy, I am not Timberlake. But a nigga too insane. Trap for the money, but to pull up in the ring. So I can give a what the fuck about what a nigga think. I'm on some new shit, elevated my rubric. I'm an industry nuisance, giving my 2 cents. Telling niggas what the truth is. It ain't even about music. Everybody wanna know the cheat code. Bitch, I got bops on reload. I was just on live 2 hours straight. Ain't playing not one repeat song. I'm ready for the spotlight. I was on the block like a stoplight. Every day I catch lightning in the bottle. The niggas told lies by the night, hitting spots twice. Couple years I was living on fried rice. Like a tree when I got to eat Popeyes. Gotta beat them and get your whole top 5. Spit heat on top like a rabbi. It's no. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this particular video, we're going to be getting into Carl Crawford and Megan Thee Stallion. Now, remember, Carl Crawford used to be Megan Thee Stallion's label head over there at 1501. They signed and discovered her, you know what I'm saying? And things went bad, right? After Megan Thee Stallion aligned herself with Roc Nation, they started looking into her career, looking into her contracts, looking into everything that she had circulating and going on with her. And they said, yo, this contract that you in is unconscionable. That is a quote. Unconscionable is the word that was released to the press, basically stating that she was in a predatory record contract with Carl Crawford and 1501. Once Roc Nation got in her ear, Carl Crawford caught wind of it a little later. He was angry about it, and he said, hey, y'all look like y'all trying to poach my artist from me, right? Y'all trying to take her out. Y'all trying to, nah. And things began to get contentious from there. You know what I'm saying? Megan's day-to-day manager, T. Ferris, who was actually, friends with Megan's mother, he was looking out. And he ended up parting ways with 1501 as well. He went on to continue supporting Megan. They fell out very publicly. They went through many court dates and allegations and messy ordeals. At one point, 1501 was trying to block Megan from getting out of her contract, was trying to block Megan from releasing her albums. Then once her albums would come out, they would say, hey, we don't feel like this is a good enough album or a complete enough album to count towards your release commitment with the label. You need to keep dropping with us, right? They didn't want something for the hotties to be counted as an album because he said it was just a bunch of B-sides and skits and what he called fireside chats or some shit like that. So he was like, nah, what is this? Even though it ended up spawning a major hit from it with that shit, he was not satisfied. At one point, she was trying to collaborate with BTS and collaborate with other people in the industry. They were trying to block that as well because they did not want to continue to see her star rise if she was going to be on her way out, because that's what labels tend to try to do. Is if you're going to be leaving them anytime soon, they're going to do everything in their power to devalue you or put roadblocks in your way so that you don't end up leaving them and then becoming an even bigger star after no longer being in business with them, right? So all of those things transpired, but now we've got Carl Crawford coming out, kind of voicing regrets about how that situation was handled, how her contract was handled, and trying to give some insight into where the future of 1501 lies as a label. He did an interview or a discussion with Z, aka Brian Zizek from Audio Mac. If you don't know about Audio Mac, look into them. They're one of the biggest streaming platforms out there, but they're not in the big 3 or 4, but they're growing, especially on an international level. They're the top international streamer. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this up so we can get to what exactly Carl had to say. So here we are. Carl Crawford says, I went from being seen as a hard-working athlete to the villain in music overnight. Z says, I spoke with Carl Crawford about rebuilding after a turbulent contract dispute with Megan Thee Stallion that tested his label. He's focused on starting a new era. No pun intended, as he played in the MLB, where new era hats are kind of the origin. So they say when Carl Crawford started 1501 in 2016, his goal was clear: to break the next superstar out of Houston. Crawford invested $6 million of his own money, built recording studios, and signed artists straight out of his neighborhood, intending to shine a light on the talent in his hometown. Megan Thee Stallion became the breakout star Crawford sought, but their public fallout put 1501 under scrutiny. Crawford says their 3-year-long legal battle cost him financially and made artists hesitant to sign with him. You better believe they motherfucking hesitate to sign with your ad, not just her. Although this was highly publicized, just about at least every female artist that was signed to 1501 ended up getting 150 gone. Okay? Megan got the fuck on, Erica Banks got the fuck on, and there was another one that was over there that got the fuck on before all this shit took place, if I'm not mistaken. So let's not act like it was all on Megan. Quit the faking. But, hopefully they can get their shit together moving forward. But ultimately, although they parted ways, this ended up actually working out in Megan Thee Stallion's favor, being that she went completely independent. She released the Cobra record on her own, you know what I'm saying, which was a pretty good success for a single released by an independent artist that had no backing, you know what I'm saying. Then top of 2024, she came and announced that she had signed, not signed, but she did a distribution deal to remain independent, but she did distribution through Warner Music. She was able to drop her own label, Hot Girl Productions, in which she then dropped Hiss, which was a #1 record, diss record going back and forth with Nicki, and jump-started her year, dropping towards, all of her projects, because she dropped Act 1, right? And she came back and dropped Act 2 on niggas' heads. I'm still waiting on Act 3. I'm still waiting to cash in on that Glorilla collab project. I don't know if we're still gonna get it, but I would like it. I think it would be perfect for this year. We're going into the spring. Summer's gonna be shortly after that. Got the fall. Y'all still got plenty of time to do what y'all need to do. But again, I don't know if they're still in that mode. I don't know if they've been in the studio. I don't know shit. Right? Although, Megan, if you ever want to talk, inside the industry is a place where we would love you. My insiders, for the most part, are hotties. There's a lot of them over here. It would be an amazing time, amazing conversation. We could do it virtually. I ain't even got to be in your space. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't trust everybody. Or, shit, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Fly me out. I'm just playing. But yeah, anyway, don't want nobody to get the wrong idea. So next they say, when Megan signed to 1501 in early 2018, she entered a 360 deal with Crawford's label, meaning they took a percentage of multiple revenue streams, including master royalties, touring, and merchandise. All right. So back in 2020, remember, this was when everything broke out. Z put a tweet out. He said, just read over Megan Thee Stallion's full recording contract with 1501. It's a 360 deal. Megan receives 40% of her royalties net, 70% of her merchandising net, 70% of her performance revenue, over $1,000 net, and 100% of her performance revenue under $1,000 net, which I find to be interesting. Why would you want to give her 100% of performance revenue under $1,000, especially when with an artist that's about to go out and make multiple thousands? But that's the setup, right? That's the catch-22. So the label was receiving 60% cut of her royalties. Label was receiving 30% of her merchandising. Label was receiving 30% of her performance revenue that would be over the $1,000 mark. And anything less than $1,000, she would get to keep 100% of. At the time, Megan's deal calls for the delivery of one full LP record with 2 options, 2 additional albums, and luckily she was able to get out of there with that something for the hotties, right? So at the time, she had already delivered Tina Snow, Fever, and Sugar. However, at the time, again, Carl Crawford and them said that the projects weren't long enough, right? One full LP record with 2 options, 2 additional albums of note for an album delivery to count toward the deal. It must clock in at no less than 45 minutes. At the time, her projects weren't clocking in at 45 minutes. And if you look around the music industry, most artists' albums don't clock in at 45 minutes anymore because that's not how we're doing things. As a matter of fact, Tina Snow was 30 minutes. Fever was 40 minutes. Sugar was 24. In addition to her advance, 1501 committed for Tina Snow project a minimum of $60,000 and a maximum of $100,000, including mastering and marketing costs. So that was the budget for the project. The recording budget for second and third commitment albums, assuming 1501 picked up both options, is the same. Okay? At the time, Z thought she was going to lose. Unfortunately, for Z's projection, he was inaccurate, which I'm sure he's happy about because he only wants the best for artists. He just pretty much was expecting for the paperwork to, debilitate her in court. But again, didn't go that way. We'll get back to Carl Crawford, though. Now, in hindsight, Crawford now admits he structured her deal now admits he structured her deal differently than he would today. He says, I didn't fully understand the business at that time. Back then, we just came in with a number, like us taking 40% of her net profit. That was just me not knowing the business. Now, Crawford says he's taken a different approach. He's focused on artist development, offering more standard contracts, and ensuring he's directly involved in label decisions. I don't let anyone control what I'm doing anymore. Now, that is another key piece of the conversation because in the beginning of the label, T. Ferris was helping Carl Crawford because he didn't have experience in the music industry. And later in the process, he had found himself entangled with Jay Prince, who was also trying to take over and handle decisions. And Megan Thee Stallion even said that Jay Prince and Carl were calling her, trying to intimidate her to try to keep her locked into that contract. Okay, now he says, I don't let anyone control what I'm doing. So he's claiming that he is in the driver's seat rather than having other people that have been working in the music industry leading him down perhaps the wrong lane, right? I don't know who's still affiliated. I don't know who works there, but hopefully he's telling the truth. They say 1501 roster today is more diverse than ever. Crawford has signed a Latin hip-hop artist, FNF Chapo, a country urban artist, Skeeter Jones, and a 19-year-old Mississippi rapper, Lil CEO, who he believes is on the verge of a breakout. Now, I've never heard any of these artists. If y'all are from Houston, if y'all are from Texas, if y'all know these artists, please feel free to give me some information about FNF Chapo, Skeeter Jones, country urban artist, and Lil CEO. I don't want to diss them because I haven't heard them. More power to them. God bless. Z says, with independents more popular than ever, why would an artist sign to 1501? Crawford's pitch, hands-on support, aggressive promotion, and a team that truly believes in its artists. Artists know we'll put them on Front Street and give them every opportunity to be seen. So you can pretty much tell the big selling point for this label is we popped off Megan Thee Stallion. We haven't seen too many other success stories. I guess you could put Erica Banks in there because she's a recognizable name. She's not a household name. She's not a superstar. She's not a big artist, but she had a couple records that went. She had a trajectory that she was supposed to fulfill. But for whatever reason, she got more consumed with trying to troll Megan, you know what I'm saying? And troll all of us in terms of different controversies that she found herself in, trying to latch on to Nicki Minaj and just all of these different things that overshadowed her talent, overshadowed her career, and ultimately she found herself in a bad space. Crawford's team has grown from a one-man operation to 10 people working toward his vision of building a sustainable label. He says, I know these people believe in what we're doing. We're all shooting for the same goal, turning this thing around and bringing prosperity back to 1501. Okay? Breaking artists in 2025 isn't easy, but Crawford remains committed to the mission. When I asked Crawford what's harder, hitting a 101 mile per hour fastball or breaking an artist, he laughed. Breaking an artist. It is tough. Like his most successful artist, Carl Crawford learned the music business the hard way. Now he's reshaping 1501 with new artists, better deal structures, and a refined understanding of the music industry. Will he build another superstar? Time will tell. I don't know. I don't necessarily think so, but again, you can't count anyone out, right? So all I can do is say God bless, wish him the best, but I'm glad that the contentious, tortuous relationship that he had with Megan is now over. They can go their separate ways and they're no longer tied business wise. Okay. Now, in other Megan related news, she recently came out and showed love to Doechii on her TikTok live. She says, "Bitch, I love Doechii. I want to do a song with Doechii. That is on my album wish list." Let's hear it from her.
I see Doechii, bitch. I love Doechii, bitch. I do want to do a song with Doechii. That is on my list. That's on my album wish list. But I really have no song right now. But I feel like Doechii would be the type of person that you would have to be like in the studio to make a song with. Like I would like to hear like a beat that she would like to rap over. And also I'm like challenging myself to rap over beats that I would not normally rap over without losing myself. I see Doechii.
Okay, so that's Megan saying that she would like to work with Doechii. She's got her on the wish list for the album, which that's good talk for me. I want to know when the album's coming. I want to get some details. What that bit sounding like? Is Lil Ju on that bit? Like, what we doing? You get what I'm saying? It's been a little minute. I know you dropped. I know you did a 2-for-1 last year, but you promised another one. I don't want to be on your ass too hard though. But like, what we doing, man? But I would like to hear that. A lot of people have been suggesting to Doechii to get a Megan Thee Stallion feature. You know, when she dropped the anxiety joint, that was something that was circulating online. A lot of people were thinking, yo, get Megan on this. Get Megan. Doechii said, I would love that. Hey, that would be fine with me. You know what I'm saying? But anxiety is already jumping. It's hitting the charts on its own. It's doing its motherfucking thing. It's elevating. It's continuing to push her into having another hit record off of some shit that she did a couple years back. Old ass song that she just re-uploaded and got clearance for. Off the charts. But I do want to hear what they would come up with. I don't think that would be the one. I would like to hear them on some hard shit talking. You know what I'm saying? And I think although Megan may look at Doechii as like a different type of rapper, don't count out the hard Houston Southern shit. Doechii from Florida. Doechii could get on all types of beats. Doechii got flows. I want that. I want to see that. Make it happen. Don't let this conversation die. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that it's good for the ladies to collaborate. I want to see all the ladies collaborate, put their shit to the side, whatever they got going on. You know what I mean? If possible. A lot of this shit don't really be about nothing anyway. So make it happen, Captain. And they ain't got nothing between them. So let go. But again, feel free to slide a nigga some inside information about this if it happens. Because we've been advocating very strongly for both of these ladies over here on Inside the Industry. You feel me? Outside of that, we're still waiting on the results of the 2 remaining lawsuits that Megan Thee Stallion is embroiling herself into. You know what I'm saying? At one angle, we have her suing Milagro Grams. Milagro's page did get knocked down the other day. Her Mob's World page was also knocked down the other day. I think she did go back to Twitter with a new page called New Media or something like that. But she's pretty much protecting her tweets and trying to be very private and secretive about what she's posting. And I'm not finna goddamn stalk this lady or anything like that. But I'm just gonna stick to the paperwork. On the other end, we have her former photographer, Emilio Cucci, aka Emilio Garcia, who is suing her for unpaid wages and sexual harassment and all these different things. I think this thing it may not get tossed, but I think he's going to lose. But we are also awaiting what that's going to look like and any further paperwork to be uploaded in both of those. Once those are updated, we'll be back to talk about it, go through the allegations, go through the court proceedings, and, see what her future holds in those areas. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect, y'all. Peace. King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.